I think this is one of those games where everything goes according to plan. If you're Saw, right, you win both pistols, you win all the key rounds, you make the correct calls, you know, momentum calls, change of pace calls at the correct time, and the players are just getting the kills. All of those rounds that Saw was winning weren't even close. Like, they would just be over in the first 20-30 seconds. G2 is forced to save, and yeah, just a dominant showing from Saw.
I love how fast they approach the T side of this map. Should we dive into some examples? Because it was kind of back-to-back rounds where they were really pulling off some really fast executes.
Yeah, they showed us a little bit of everything Saw on that T side, but I feel like this is where they really broke the back of G2 and ran away with the first half, because there was a couple of rounds there. Once we got into the gun rounds, that were back and forth, right? G2 would win one, lose one, win one, back, and then we have these two rounds happening back to back with a fast A split. Ugers coming into main. Hunter has no idea that's even open, so a breakdown in communication there for the side of G2. You can see some of that mechanical prowess from the side of the Saw players getting all the kills, and NiKo in a 1v3 gives it a good try, a nice effort, but couldn't win the clutch.
Yeah, the Story's brain in that moment go, oh, he's going for it, okay, running back to lobby, managing to lock it in. Time, of course, against him, so doesn't manage to make that one work. And the other thing as well, every time G2 was winning these rounds.
So a close round, right? But what happens right after that, back to back, what are we going to do? Oh, let's just do an A-pop, and Hunter, you know, kind of in the middle of nowhere here, you basically have to just commit to the spray. I mean, you probably know what's coming. Snax also dies. They were already in a ramp setup, right? But again, it's 130. NiKo is in a 1v4, right? Can't even save. So these two back-to-back really speed rounds, and that was conditioned by playing a little bit slower, killing NiKo on yard here and there, right? Sometimes. So then you saw that G2 had success when m0NESY was in the right place. He got a couple of entries on yard. Oh, G2 goes on and wins the round. Suddenly, if he's there, they're A-popping, the A defense is weak, round is pretty much over. So it was a lot of just early on Saw picking the correct places to hit and just finding instant success.
And the thing as well is G2, whenever they were winning rounds, it was very, very close. They weren't keeping the finances sorted. And Saw, it was completely the opposite. There were so many clean rounds, 4 alive, 5 alive, without losing many members. So they had money that whole first half and just kept on that financial struggle on G2.
I think Connor's using such an apt word for the display of this. It was just clinical coming out of Saw. Like, you could see the preparation was so well drilled. And we saw that from some of the individuals. I mean, like, you could probably put any of the individuals under the spotlight, but if you're going to compare them here, who would you be comparing from the two sides?
I'd like to have a look at Story and m0NESY head-to-head, because these two individuals on the AWP, they're completely different, polar opposites. One's a supportive AWPer, one's the mechanical mastermind, the maestro that we know, the young m0NESY. And he was there with 12 and 10. Unfortunately, took a little bit to get started, didn't really find any success in the early rounds. But Story, he was hitting, he was one of the, like the secondary man, a bit of a clutch player throughout stage 1. But here today, you could see in the moments we were highlighting as well, there was great flashes coming across the top. They were all Stories. And then there were moments where just his team play, everyone else, it just felt like all the cogs were clicking.
Ujux as well was a man that we were kind of bringing up, comparing to NiKo. He had a great display on this first half too.
Yeah, especially, you know, in the second half on ramp, getting a couple of crucial kills in that sort of reset round where G2 maybe could have gotten something going to even dream of a comeback, but just wasn't there. This is in the reset round, just tearing the head off of NiKo outside. And yeah, I mean, for Saw, they're going to need to keep this up. On Inferno, I think if you're G2, you're just sort of brushing this one off. They never really got their foot into this game, right? So you're just going to be like, well, I guess that one's over. Luckily, it's a best of 3 and we have 2 more maps and we're going to Inferno, right? And I don't think you need to ring the alarm bell just yet. Just sort of, you know, remind the players kind of, hey, let's just focus in a little bit more on those pistol rounds, try to get a better start so we're not playing from behind the whole game.
You want to talk about the Malbs moment on lower as well? Second
I feel like no one wants to talk about the Malbs moment. That comes down, are you talking pistol?
Yeah, second pistol.
That was off of the discipline from Saw though. You saw them, they wanted to go down the vent. They even had a little jiggle and then saw that he was there, didn't go for it, and waited for him to waste all that time. It got a little close, but again, because they had that discipline, they managed to tick that clock down and they played the game perfectly.
They played it so well. They played it almost perfectly, but then he just kills 2 guys in like half a second. And if he immediately started planting, he would have had time, you know, just that extra second. Oh, wait, mate, is the 3rd guy oh, there's no time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because it would have been a mad highlight, but yeah, not meant to be.
Ultimately, didn't change the course of this trajectory of this first map. But yeah, let's talk about G2's pick coming into this series. What should we expect coming onto this second map, Janko?
Yeah, what made their Inferno strong is playing a lot of default. Banana control being really good, and that's the area where they struggle with Snax, right? Just getting used to the timings, the type of support, you know. Sometimes it's those things you just need to react without your teammate even calling for it because they happen so fast when you need to flash, to peek. Otherwise, you're just dead and you've lost control. So they've had some more time compared to EWC, obviously, to hone that side of things. They played a couple of times against NIP at Blast Group, so take from that what you will. But yeah, I think no reason to panic for them. Just keep it default for the most part.
Yeah, I think stylistically, Inferno is just a map that favors G2 much more, right? There's 2 main approaches, like you go towards A, up middle, or through apps, or just banana, right? There's not too many options, but that allows for much more team play, much more structure to be involved. Nuke, it's like an open book. There's just so much going on. There's so much open space. Those smokes are so much more impactful. And Inferno is just, it's a different whole style.
And an element that's changed is with Hunter now on T side, he's playing abs, right? And Malbs is in bowler, so they can potentially get some more aggression from that side of things. At least a little bit more pressure being put there in case, you know, Saul's game plan is okay. Let's just put a lot of our resources in Banana, take control of that. You need those guys who are playing second mid, who are playing abs to take some space that's available.
Is that what we expect them to be doing? Because Saul, they will be starting on the CT side of things, G2 on T side. Do you agree with Janko's approach of, you know, make sure you're focusing a lot of energy towards a banana area?
I think so. Look, just try it out, you know, put some pressure there, see if Saul crumbles, see how they're feeling, and then if not, then you just got to go the other way, right? It's just, you know, you got 2 options. 50,
Is this a G0 2? We're expecting a bounce back, right? That wasn't as smooth as I thought.
I wouldn't say expecting. It'd be an incredible surprise if Saw 2-0 G2 today.
Yeah, it would, I mean, it would. I expect G2 to at least have a better game. As I said, you know, they couldn't, like, you lose all the key runs, you're getting reset all the time. It's just one of those games, but I expect them to bounce back.
Hopefully for G2, they've taken a break. They've reset a little bit themselves, and they're focusing, going on to their map pick of Inferno. That's coming your way after the break.
Wait, what was that?
Never miss a play again.